Alright, hello guys. Today I am going to inform you on the best way to identify the Marine Corps ranks. Okay, let's get right into it. The first thing that you need to know before you can identify these insignias, you need to know the ranks. Okay, if you don't know the ranks already, I have a video explaining the best way to know them and learn them in just one day. Go check it out. Alright, a little backstory. I just got back from Parris Island. We had a kid from my school graduate from my high school, and we went to go see him graduate. We take a field trip every time someone graduates. We have a colonel as our ROTC instructor who was in the Marine Corps, and so he loves taking that trip. Anyway, I just got back, and I had a buddy with me who didn't know them, okay? I drilled it, and I drilled it, and I drilled it, and he learned them all in one day, and he also learned how to identify all of them. I would like to share that knowledge with y'all. Let's get right into it. First, you need to know the ranks. Second, we're going to learn how to identify the insignias. Okay, E1 doesn't have an insignia. If you see a Marine in uniform, okay, chances are he's got the boot camp ribbon, but he doesn't have any insignia, any chevrons. He's a private, okay? No rank. If he's in the dress blues, okay, he's a private. All right. If you see one chevron, just one chevron, you know that he's a private first class. Okay, coming out of boot camp, you can be a private first class. There's a few criteria you need. You can participate in ROTC, JROTC, or JROTC. You can have some college credits or participate in other things. We'll put you ahead and allow you to have private first class. All right? Just one chevron for private first class. If you just see one chevron, it's private first class, okay? If you see one chevron and rifles under it, you know that that's a lance corporal. Okay? No rifles for private first class, but rifles for lance corporal. Okay. Gotcha. Add another chevron, and we have corporal. Another chevron, and we have corporal, okay? No chevron, no rifles, but one chevron. One chevron with rifles. Two chevrons with rifles as a corporal. And three chevrons with rifles as a sergeant. Okay? Study these, okay? Know that private first class, when they gain the rifles, it's a lance corporal. When they gain another chevron, it's a corporal. And when they gain the third chevron, they're a sergeant. All right? Remember that. Okay? One chevron's private first class. One with rifles is lance corporal. Two chevrons with rifles, corporal. And three is a sergeant. Okay? Remember that before you move on to the next part. Okay, the next part, we're starting to see, it gets a little confusing because we're starting to see rockers below. All right, and it gets confusing and it's hard to count. And once you see a bunch of rockers and a bunch of chevrons, you're like, oh my gosh, what is that rank? I don't even know. I'm not even going to bother to even try to figure that out because that's way too complicated. Okay, it's not actually that complicated. For E6 to E9, they have the same amount of chevrons. So don't even worry about the chevrons. Worry about the rockers. Every promotion from E6 to E9 adds a rocker. So if you remember the ranks, you start at E6. There's 4 ranks left. So the most amount of rockers they can have is 4. Okay? You see sergeant has no rockers. That's how you automatically know that that's a sergeant. But once you see a rocker, a single rocker, you know that's a staff sergeant. All right? Add 2 rockers to gunnery sergeant. If you know your ranks, it's going to help you out a lot. Everyone knows after gunnery sergeant, if you know your ranks, it is master sergeant. So it's going to be 3. Okay? There is a difference between master sergeant and first sergeant. They have the same amount of rockers, 3 rockers. But a first sergeant has a diamond, and a master sergeant has guns. There is a difference between them. And I'll go ahead and explain it real fast. So a master sergeant is someone who is basically a master in their MOS, in their field. Whenever you get promoted to E8, you get to pick. You get to stay in your MOS and be known as a master sergeant, or you can give up your MOS and you're going to be thrown into a leadership position in another MOS, but you're not going to do anything pertaining to that MOS. Okay, let's see, a infantry gunnery sergeant can be moved to cybersecurity as a first sergeant, and they may not know anything about first sergeant. They're there to the first sergeant may not know anything about cybersecurity, but the first sergeant is there to serve as senior leadership in that unit, even though that he doesn't know anything about cybersecurity. He knows leadership. He knows drill, and he's there to be a mentor and a leader to them, even though he may not know anything about the MOS. So got a diamond for first sergeant, and then a master sergeant's got rifles. Jumping over to the E9, we have a pineapple. Some people call it a pineapple for master gunnery sergeant, and four rockers. Okay. Star from sergeant major, and the eagle, globe, and anchor for the sergeant major of the Marine Corps. Whenever you get promoted to E9, if you are a master sergeant, you would go to master gunnery sergeant, or if you were a first sergeant, you would go to sergeant major. Okay, you already picked your path whenever you were E8. So this is where whenever you rank up, you already know where you're going to. Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps, is held by one person, picked by the General Berger picked this Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps. Troy Black, the Commandant of the Marine Corps, picks the Sergeant Major. So 4 rockers, pineapple, star, 3 rockers, diamond, 3 rockers, rifles, 2 rockers, 1 rocker. So, these we ain't got to worry about the rockers, but once we see 1 rocker, we'll count it off from E6 to E9. So 1 rocker, staff sergeant, 2 rockers, gunnery sergeant, 3 rockers, master sergeant or first sergeant, 4 rockers, master gunnery sergeant or sergeant major. Okay? Easiest way for you to remember is just count the rockers. Don't worry about the chevrons. They always have 3 chevrons at the top. Okay, that's the easiest way for you to identify the Marine Corps ranks.